It's called the Affordable Care Act, which is actually neither affordable nor cares about anyone. It was, however, like most of Barack Obama's political career, entirely an act. Barack Obama and his Democrat enclave promised that Obamacare would fix health care costs once and for all, bend the cost curve down, they said. Remember that? We're going to bend the cost curve down. All it did, as the president points out, was enrich the insurance companies. And Americans are finally waking up to the fact that the so-called Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, was not only a massive scam, but has all but destroyed the modern medical system. Anyone with any common sense knows and understands that Obamacare all but wiped out the middle class in this country. Don't take my word for it, though. Listen to 2014 Chuck Schumer tell us so.
Democrats should have continued to propose middle-class-oriented programs and built on the partial success of the stimulus. But unfortunately, Democrats blew the opportunity the American people gave them. We took their mandate and put all of our focus on the wrong problem, health care reform. Now, the plight of uninsured Americans and the hardships caused by unfair insurance company practices certainly needed to be addressed. But it wasn't the change we were hired to make. Americans were crying out for the end to the recession, for better wages and more jobs, not changes in health care.
And yet it was Chuck Schumer's own shutdown that unveiled the unavoidable truth that Obamacare has destroyed the healthcare industry, and it's actually lost so much money that the industry now needs $1 trillion to bail it out of the Democrat-created mess. The absolute failure of Obamacare is now fully exposed. Obamacare always had one clear end goal: health care for all, including illegals, freeloaders, and future Democrat voters. They're all one and the same. Obamacare was designed to clear the decks of medical insurance competition, forcing prices higher. The road to Medicare for all, the ultimate Orwellian nightmare. Socialism, folks. All you have to do is look at the rising cost in premiums. Before Obamacare, they hovered around $13,000 a year for the average family of four. That number was up to nearly $24,000 a decade later in 2023, and we're nearly double that 2009 number now. Obamacare deliberately killed low-premium catastrophic health insurance, wiped it out, and all that is on the evil Democrats. Well, and of course, John McCain. By the way, Meghan McCain, I don't miss your old man at all. McCain's thumbs up was the winning point, the vote that the Democrats needed to take Obamacare upfield, and they're forced to admit that failure today.
I owe you an answer on why it is I'm standing here today asking to extend something that was temporary. And here's the reason. We did fail to bring down the cost of health care.
The truth of the matter is, in my view, that the current healthcare system is broken, it is dysfunctional, and it is cruel. But I want to ask my Republican friends a simple question. Are you happy with the fact that here in the United States we are the only major country not to guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child?
You know, government shut down over this idea that health care costs were going to go up and likely going to be taken away from illegals, but generally go up. But those Democrats 15 years ago put that in to expire, that those cost overrides were expiring this year. It's their plan. We all hated it. It's their plan, and somehow they blame the Republicans. I'll ask you Republicans, are you happy? Shut up, Bernie. Sit down. But I thought Obamacare was supposed to make your health care for all socialist dreams come true, Bernie. I guess it was an utter failure, just like we all knew it would be. We warned about it 15 years ago, but it gets even worse, folks. You see, Obamacare was set up to bail out state and local governments that had made unaffordable promises to their early retirees, and by the way, the folks who were illegal going into the hospitals. Those governments literally forced employees to use Obamacare and forced federal taxpayers to pay the bill. Just your typical Democrat, blue state corruption, socialism, folks. Nothing to see here. Make promises you can't keep. Spend money until you have no more money to borrow and spend. Find new and inventive ways to make the taxpayers pay for your massive errors. Got it. The Democrat Party in action. And every time Democrats whine and complain about the state of our healthcare system, what they're really doing is admitting that everything they said about Obamacare was a lie. They sold it as a plan of God. It was actually the exact opposite. And now they're tearing the whole thing to shreds. But somehow it's their president's fault for not subsidizing their crappy plan that they told was going to sunset this year anyway, 15 years ago. Obamacare was brought in to create socialized medicine. By the way, an epic failure right here in America, just like New York will be. Here's Jonathan Gruber, the MIT economist who designed Obamacare, admitting that very fact.
This bill was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay, so it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay, just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage.
Lack of transparency. Built on lies, hoping that Americans are stupid enough or down the road will forget and still fall for it. But here's the thing. At some point, and sooner rather than later, Republicans need to put forward a serious health care plan of their own. Democrats are clearly moving towards a de facto universal system by pushing everyone onto Obamacare through costly and unsustainable subsidies. It's one thing to call for ending those subsidies, but you can't simply pull the plug without offering an alternative for the millions of Americans, real Americans, the citizens who now rely on that they forced them all onto, including many who supported the president. Republicans have been warned. Let's make this yet another avenue into this golden era before these socialists come up with yet another way to take this country hostage. And I don't know, maybe we just call it Trump care. Maybe that will work.